Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are deconstructing an absolutely fantastic project from the NTU Data Coaching Program. Specifically, we're looking at their Module 1 assignment, which is all about Singapore jobs analytics. The team was tasked with designing a powerful data product, and honestly, they knocked it out of the park. You can actually check it out live right now at sgjobs-analytics.streamlit.app. What they built is just a brilliant example of taking raw, messy information and transforming it into pure strategic value. Okay, let's dive into this. 1,048,585. I really wanted to drop this massive number right at the start just to establish the sheer scale of what we're looking at here. You know, this isn't some tiny, perfectly curated sample. This is over 1 million rows of raw, real-world job postings sourced directly from mycareersfuture.sg, spanning all the way from late 2022 to mid-2024. The team literally had to tackle this absolute mountain of data to extract something meaningful. I absolutely love this quote from their presentation because it really grounds us in the exact ethos and objective of this entire endeavor. Data beats intuition, right? This wasn't just some academic exercise. It was built specifically for HR directors, talent acquisition managers, and career coaches. The goal here is ending the era of manually scrolling through job boards and, frankly, just guessing where the market is moving. Instead, it's about handing those professionals a dynamic, interactive map. So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll follow a clear 4-part structure. First, the business case. Second, data handling and process. Third, a walkthrough of the dashboard itself. And fourth, the challenges and learnings. All right, part 1, the business case. Let's look at the actual problem they needed to solve. If you've ever worked in talent acquisition, you know the pain of the old way of doing things. The core value proposition of this app is the stark contrast you see right here. On one side, you have manual benchmarking, exporting endless data, wrangling it, and relying on spreadsheet guesswork that takes days. But on the flip side, real-time analytics. Their custom app gives HR leaders instant market intelligence, meaning you can make data-driven decisions in literally seconds. It is a total game changer. Let's move to part 2 and see how this actually builds: data handling and process. To handle all of this, the team executed a highly precise 5-step end-to-end data engineering journey. Step 1, they loaded the CSV files. Step 2, they cleaned that data using SQL, aggressively dropping invalid records. Step 3, feature engineering, calculating critical things like average salaries and salary bands. Step 4, they analyzed the data using common table expressions, or CTEs, and window functions to rank and aggregate all those numbers. And finally, step 5, bringing it all to life visually. Looking a little closer at the tech stack, DuckDB is really the unsung hero of the loading phase here. They use DuckDB's Read CSV auto function to ingest over 1 million rows directly in process, which is huge because it means they didn't need to spin up and pay for a heavy external database server. Then, using SQL, they scrub the data. For instance, they filtered out just under 4,000 records that had completely null salaries. Ultimately, the whole shebang was visualized in a sleek 5-tab Streamlit web app. Now, anyone who deals with real-world data knows it is always messy. The job categories in the raw data were actually trapped inside these messy JSON strings. To normalize this, the team used some clever logic, specifically a SQL function called regex_extract. By writing a custom regular expression pattern, they force the database to ignore all the annoying brackets and quotes and cleanly parse out just the very first job category text. It's a fantastic example of practical, real-world data wrangling. All right, part 3, the dashboard walkthrough. This is where we see the final product. And as a quick reminder, you can explore this exact interface yourself at sgjobs-analytics.streamlit.app. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer concentration of the market. When you look at the dashboard's overview metrics, a massive 64% of all job roles fall squarely into the mid-market band. We're talking a monthly salary between 3,000 and 6,000 Singapore dollars. If you're a recruiter trying to figure out where the bulk of the action is, this is it. This is where the volume lives. But wait, what if we want to know where the big budgets are? Diving into the dashboard's Industry Intelligence tab highlights the premium sectors clear as day. Banking and finance leads the pack with an average salary of $7,695, closely followed by IT at $7,308. Contrast that against the overall market average, which is just $4,788. That means these premium sectors command over a 60% premium above the median. Recruiters have to come to the table highly salary competitive to win talent here. And this brilliantly illustrates what the team calls the volume versus pay paradox. Check out the admin and secretarial sector. It has the absolute highest posting volume, over 102,000 postings. But it has the lowest average salary at just under $3,300. That's a massive flashing signal for high turnover. Now contrast that with engineering. It also has a massive volume of 99,000 postings, but offers a strong average pay of nearly $5,000. For talent investment, engineering represents this incredible sweet spot, and arguably the best ROI for recruiters. The app doesn't stop there. It also dives deep into compensation benchmarking by seniority. And here we find a truly fascinating leap. Check out this number, 4.2. This represents the multiplier to jump from an entry-level position all the way up to senior management. The data reveals that senior management roles average $11,561 a month. That is exactly 4.2 times higher than the entry-level baseline. We also get this crystal clear picture of market momentum over time. The data absolutely proves the massive post-COVID hiring rebound. Look at this. Job posting volume saw an explosive 8x growth starting in the first quarter of 2023, hitting an absolute market peak by the third quarter. Then, as we moved into late 2023 and early 2024, the market finally stabilized into a mature, active plateau, hovering around 225,000 postings per quarter. Finally, part 4, challenges and learnings. Because let's be real, no real-world data science project is ever without its hurdles. The team was super authentic and openly documented their technical vulnerabilities. First up, remember that clever regex function? Well, it only extracted the first category from the JSON, meaning some nuance from multi-category jobs was definitely lost. Second, they had to flat out exclude nearly 4,000 records because the salary data was just missing, completely null. Third, calculating the average salary by splitting the minimum and maximum ranges can actually artificially inflate numbers if a job posts a crazy range like 2K to 20K negotiable. And lastly, trying to host a 1 GB DuckDB file proved to be a real headache against Streamlit Community Cloud constraints. So the crucial point is how they actually overcame those performance bottlenecks despite the massive file sizes. The team learned to implement Streamlit caching. Specifically, they used the @state.cache resource decorator for their database connection. By doing this, they slashed the dashboard's load times from a really sluggish 8 seconds down to less than 1 second after the first render. It was a massive technical victory that ensured the app felt incredibly snappy and professional. The team also outlined some really exciting next steps, like integrating natural language processing to extract specific skills from job descriptions, or even building a machine learning salary predictor, which leaves us with a pretty fascinating thought. If over 1 million rows of data can already replace spreadsheet guesswork in mere seconds today, what hidden market insights will we be predicting tomorrow? Seriously, go check out the live dashboard at sgjobs-analytics.streamlit.app and explore the data for yourself. Thanks for joining us on this explainer, and we'll see you next time.